Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel GMB SHOW. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The Chase's Shaun Wallace tends to keep his private matters out of the public eye. Shaun Wallace, better known as the Dark Destroyer on ITV's The Chase, is a familiar face to fans of the show, where he stars alongside host Bradley Walsh and a team of quiz experts. The Chase first aired in June 2009, with Shaun and co-star Mark Labbett featuring in the opening series. They continue to be integral members of the cast today, along with Anne Hegarty, Paul Sinha, Jenny Ryan, and Dara Ennis. Before he stepped into the world of television, Shaun was a practicing criminal barrister, participating in hearings at the Old Bailey, various magistrates' courts across England and Wales, and even in Scotland. His life took a dramatic turn in 2004 when he emerged victorious on the BBC general knowledge quiz show Mastermind, specializing in FA Cup finals. This win caught the attention of Bradley and his production team, leading to Shaun being recruited by ITV as the first ever chaser on The Chase. His popularity on the show opened up numerous opportunities, including hosting quizzes on cruise ships, penning his autobiography Catching a Dream, and making several other TV appearances, reports Bristol Live. Despite his high-profile television career, little is known about Shaun's personal life. Here, we take a peek behind the scenes when the cameras aren't rolling. Shaun confirmed he's now earning a massive salary, Image, ITV. In a recent interview, Shaun opened up about his dual income streams, revealing that he now commands a hefty six-figure salary for his work as both a barrister and a television personality. Addressing the transformation, Shaun celebrated his Mastermind triumph as the onset of a considerable increase in earnings. He divulged to The Times, comparing his previous income with his current earnings discreetly. "A lot, that's all I'll say. How many zeros?" Subsequently, the star from The Chase expressed that his revenues have soared significantly, remarking, "Well into 6-0 territory, and my earnings have increased massively since I've started working in TV. I got paid well as a barrister, but I'm now earning about 10 times the amount I was before." Shaun also clarified he maintains 2 professional roles and hasn't exited the legal field entirely. "I still practice though, so I have a dual income. Probably 70% of my income comes from my TV work and 30% from the legal side. Everything changed when I won Mastermind in 2004. Not just my finances, my whole life." Shaun is no longer single. Image, Dave Bennett/Getty Images. Regarding personal matters, the Dark Destroyer typically likes to remain tight-lipped. However, on the How to Be 60 podcast hosted by Loose Women's Kay Adams, he confessed to not being single anymore. Speaking to Kay and her co-presenter Karen McKenzie, the television personality acknowledged for the first time being contentedly unmarried. "I suppose I'm married to my career. Put it that way. I like that. I prefer that, and I'm happier." Intrigued, his hosts inquired about a potential partner, to which Shaun confirmed, "Yes, I'm in a relationship." The 64-year-old prefers to maintain his privacy, and so details about Shaun's life away from the screen were sparse. Nonetheless, in the same podcast discussion, the ITV personality divulged more about his domestic setting. On being questioned if he had any offspring, Shaun replied, "No, I have never had a child." He subsequently explained why he had not embarked on parenthood, saying he has no regrets about his choice. He explained his stance to the 2 hosts, saying, "It was a conscious reason when I was a young struggling barrister. I didn't think it would be right to bring up a child when you're trying to climb to the top of that greasy pole." Though he did not have children of his own biologically, he had numerous chances to help raise them, having been chosen as a godparent many times. Shaun remarked, "And I've never regretted that decision. I've got 15 godchildren. 2 of them are called Shaun, and I'm the best godfather in the world. I probably would have been a great dad, but I've got no regrets in relation to that." Additionally, the television star took part in bringing up his ex-partner's child and expressed pride in being able to see her succeed and advance, acknowledging that she is the closest thing to a daughter he has, and that she too calls him dad. "I watched her grow into a lovely young lady. She got a first-class honors degree recently, and she got her doctorate the other day, and I was there," he stated. As the quizzing legend celebrated his 64th birthday, fans were eager to find out if he had any intentions of retiring from his role as the Dark Destroyer on Bradley Walsh's ITV show, The Chase. Shaun has been a staple on The Chase since it first aired in June 2009 and shows no signs of slowing down. Speaking to New Zealand Woman's Weekly, he expressed his enthusiasm for continuing his work. He remarked, "I'm celebrating 40 years in the job this year, and I have no plans to retire at 65. I love it. I love quizzing too, so I will be doing that for as long as I can." Aware of the unpredictable nature of television, Shaun acknowledged that even a hit show like The Chase could eventually go off air. He added, "I never take being on The Chase for granted. I know it could all end tomorrow, and I still pinch myself that we are celebrating our 15th anniversary this year." By day, he's known as the Dark Destroyer, the formidable intellect on ITV's The Chase, with a steely glare and razor-sharp comebacks that have rattled many a hopeful contestant. But beyond the bright lights of the studio and the thunderous applause, Shaun Wallace lives a life that's more layered, more mysterious, and far more glamorous than most fans could imagine. At 64, Shaun Wallace isn't slowing down. When he's not dismantling quiz teams on national television, he's commanding a courtroom. Yes, you read that right. Shaun is also a barrister, and he's been practicing law long before television made him a household name. In his other life, he's not chasing trivia, he's chasing justice. Known in legal circles as the legal assassin, a nickname he chuckles at, he's revered for his cross-examinations and impassioned defenses. "I've always said knowledge is power," Shaun once confided in an interview, "but using it to make a difference, that's purpose." It's this dual life, game show genius by day, courtroom warrior by, well, also by day, that's earned him a salary most of us would envy. Between his television gigs, speaking engagements, university lectures, and legal cases, Shaun's net worth is said to hover well into the millions. Yet you'd never see him flaunting designer suits or driving flashy sports cars. He prefers classic tailoring, a quiet dinner, and a tube ride over limousines. But perhaps the most intriguing chapter of his story is one fans know almost nothing about. Shaun Wallace is in love. For years, he's kept his romantic life tightly under wraps, and for good reason. The woman who's captured his heart is no stranger to the limelight herself, a well-respected journalist and author who, until recently, covered his courtroom trials as part of her legal beat. Sparks flew during a heated case involving a political scandal, and their banter, intelligent, witty, and intense, turned into something deeper. They kept it quiet. Dinners were disguised as professional meetings, holidays camouflaged as research retreats. For two public figures, privacy was precious. But the world is catching on. A recent photograph surfaced of the couple holding hands along the Amalfi Coast, smiles unguarded and eyes locked in a moment that needed no caption. Fans speculated wildly, but Shaun, ever the gentleman, neither confirmed nor denied. When asked about it during a radio interview, he simply said, "Some things in life are too special to put under the microscope. Let's just say I'm very happy." So the next time you watch The Chase and see Shaun Wallace sitting confidently in his chair, remember, behind that fierce persona is a man who wears many hats. Legal champion, quizmaster, millionaire, and yes, a romantic. It turns out, the Dark Destroyer isn't just chasing the right answer. He's chasing a life well lived, and it seems, finally, he's caught it.